Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for Godzilla Podcast, and I thought I would start another new channel of sorts. I don't know. I'll see how this particular channel goes, but it has nothing to do really with Godzilla, nothing to do with cryptids and monsters, nothing to do with urban legends or anything like that. Instead, this will be just a whole new, different set of videos where I'm going to title it the Godzilla Rant, where it's not really a rant, but it's more along the lines of myself just giving my opinion on current topics, and I don't know, just seeing how things go from there. If it turns out to be pretty popular, i.e. a lot of people view them and a lot of people post comments and respond and so forth, yeah, I guess I'll continue on there. But otherwise, it's my way of talking about the current headlines that are happening here in the US or across the world. Nothing political, nothing really sensitive, nothing like that. Instead, just more on the lines of myself commenting on certain issues and seeing, how the others will respond to that. So, the first topic that I wanted to talk about, and I found this really interesting, and I want everybody to give their opinions on there, is the status of Blockbuster. And my Godzilla rant is essentially why Blockbuster failed. And Blockbuster, of course, is but it's pretty much a zombie status right now, is that huge retail chain of video slash DVD slash Blu-rays slash gaming, whatever, that was in existence for a good number of years. But then all of a sudden, this past week, it finally announced the end of its era, where Blockbuster stated that the last remaining 300 locations that it has here in the US are fully closing. That's the final hammer in the nail. The final nail in the coffin. I mean, this is it. And their online access apparently is still going to go on. But otherwise, the ability to go into the store, rent anything there, bring it back, that's gone on there. So, but anyways, the rant is why Blockbuster failed. And there are so many upfront reasons that come to mind. The biggest one that I feel, I'm sure everyone else agrees on this and has already thought the same, is its competition. It never innovated with anything having to do with its competitors. There were several different fronts of competition that all picked at Blockbuster's customer base, and Blockbuster never did anything really to essentially counter-attack them. And for starters, the biggest competition came from the rise of the online streaming. And that had to do, of course, with the mega company known as Netflix. Netflix came along, enjoyed a success. It did have some growing pains on their end, but guess what? They completely turned everything around and geared everything towards the digital media. So instead of having even their famous DVD by mail continue, they themselves foresaw that yes, everything is going to turn into a digital format, and they continued that, and Blockbuster continued to stay as is. And with that, Amazon later came on. Then you have Hulu, then you have YouTube, all of these places that now offer the ability to watch things online, if not purchase them online. And then here you have Blockbuster still sticking to their tried and true, or what was tried and true, option of the retail store. And the problem with that, of course, is that when you have the ability to just being able to, do something at home, as opposed to having to drive up to a store for one thing to pick something up and then drive up again to later drop it off, that was their issue. Now, Blockbuster could have taken advantage still of the fact that they had, let's say, the ability to stick with their stores and make it a competitive advantage. And what I mean by that is, it's interesting that when you have these storefronts, you could have made it a place where it's more like a place to hang out. People go and let's say they're picking their movies, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe food could be served there, maybe arcades could be there, maybe anything could be there that could give people a further reason to stay and come to the store. If you're just creating one reason for somebody to come to a store to pick up movies, when at the same time the ability to watch movies is far more easy at home, then you've got to create something more convincing, if you know what I mean. Now, the second storefront that they failed on was the ability to have standalone kiosks, and then of course was Redbox. That Redbox came and went. Then they're still here, and they allocated their medium to the fullest advantage, while Blockbuster stayed as is. Now, Blockbuster, to their credit, did try some kiosks. I understand there's none in my area, so I never really saw any. And they also tried the online access to stream on there, but by that point, you're just playing catch up. So again, that's one of the reasons why Blockbuster failed, was their competition was too quick, Blockbuster was too slow, and the rest is history. The other reason I feel that Blockbuster truly failed was the pricing. I don't understand how the pricing got so out of hand. I used to frequent a Blockbuster that was nearby my apartment a couple of years back. I loved it. I loved being able to ride my bike over there, especially, let's say, after I got off school, got off work. It was a way to be able to exercise at the same time. I would pick up a movie, watch it, then I would ride my bike back the next day and, put the movie back, and it went on from there. But little by little, Blockbuster began raising the prices of each movie to the point where the last time I went I was renting actually a Godzilla film, and it was Godzilla 2000. And I remember when it was rung up, it was for $4.99, and that's to rent it for the usual standard time that all my other times have been. And when I asked, they mentioned that they raised the prices on all the older movies to all of them being $4.99. I don't know if it impacted anyone else's Blockbusters out there, if anyone remembers. But at that point, it made too much sense to stop doing that, because why would I pay $5 to rent a movie? And let's say I do this several times a week, I'm spending a good amount of money a week just to watch movies. So, and this is at a time when, again, Netflix was doing their thing for a much cheaper price on a monthly basis. So again, Blockbuster pretty much blocked themselves out by having a huge amount of price increases. I can do fine with the popcorn and the chips and whatever else they sold there. It's considered more of an impulse buy, because if you're going to watch a movie, why not have something right then and there to grab as well. But it's the movies themselves that they price themselves out of. And I don't mind Blockbuster as a franchise. I mean, it's nostalgic almost. We all remember the days when there was a time when one would go, even with their families, to go pick out the latest movies, and then you would rent them, and then you would come back the next day, and then that was it. You would continue the process ad nauseum. It was a good formula. The problem is, of course, that time happens. Here you have others that are taking into place the medium of watching movies and changing the formats completely, and here you have Blockbuster staying with their old route. I can't believe how in some cases CEOs, whoever, can get paid to continue this process to essentially bring the business down, but people did, and it led to what we see now. It's kind of sad. I did have a Blockbuster. I'm at my new apartment now. Been here for a couple of years, and there was a Blockbuster near my place, but when I moved to my location, I never had that inkling feeling to rent anything again, because again, the pricing is too high, and at the same time, it's too out of the way. Even if it is nearby to take my bike, why would I do that again if I could just turn on the internet and the movie's there? So anyways, post your thoughts below. What do you think? Why do you think Blockbuster failed? Do you have any other theories on there? Was it maybe poor customer service? Was it add-on fees? Does anybody have any stories that they feel about Blockbuster, as far as good ones, bad ones? Do they miss it? Will they miss it? Share your thoughts below. Thanks again, everybody, and let me know how you feel this type of series works. The Godzilla Rant, again, where I'll pick topics that are happening currently within the U.S. or the world, and I'll share my thoughts. Thanks again, everybody. Bye.